I hate to even mention this one because it is such a painfully obvious thing, and we all know this one. And when I say this one to you, you're going to roll your eyes, but bear with me. Tenses is something you probably learned about in middle school to be consistent with what tense you're in. If you're coming from the past tense, you need to stay there throughout what you're writing. But people do this all the time. They will switch tenses back and forth in their writing, and it is it's not obvious while you're writing it, but to the reader it's very obvious. And again, this is a common one that most people consciously know. And if you told this to someone, they'd say, well, duh. But then they don't stay alert for this during their writing or revision process, and they completely miss matching up all the tenses. With that said, a caveat to this one is that, there are going to be some points in certain types of writing where it's okay to switch tenses. So if you're writing in the present tense and you mention some past memory and you go into that past memory in a narrative you're writing, it might make sense to use the past tense because that memory was in the past. But the point is to use that past tense just for that memory and then switch back to the present tense that you're in before you started writing about that memory. So there are moments where you can switch tenses, but as a general rule of thumb, you just should be consistent with it. And for the record, most papers submitted in college do switch tenses at some point, and it's not for a clever or good reason usually, like the past memory that I mentioned just before. So really check for this in your revision process or be proactive about it through your writing process.